This is the video solution for number 2 on the Simplifying Rational Expressions quiz. Once again, if you missed number 2 on your quiz, you should be watching this video and writing down the solution on the blank, fresh copy of the quiz that I gave you. Again, this is part of the process by which you will earn back the points that you lost. So step 1 is to factor both the numerator and the denominator of this rational expression completely. So we will start with the numerator, 3x squared minus 15x minus 42. Now at first glance, that trinomial appears to be advanced trinomial factoring, but you have to remember that your first step is always to check for a GCF. All three of these terms are divisible by 3. So your first step should be to factor out a 3. Now when we factor it out, it does not just disappear. What happens is it moves out in front of a set of parentheses. We are basically undoing distribution. So we would have 3 times the quantity. We would divide each term by 3. So 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. Negative 15x divided by 3 would be negative 5x. And negative 42 divided by 3 would be negative 14. Now, that is a factorable trinomial, much like we did in number 1. We are looking for a pair of numbers that multiplies to negative 14 and adds to negative 5. Since they multiply to negative 14, we know that their signs have to be different. One has to be positive and one has to be negative. If they add to negative 5, the only pair of numbers that multiplies to 14 and is separated by 5 on the number line is negative 7 and positive 2. That would be the set that adds to negative 5. So since there's no number in front of x squared, we are simply going to factor that trinomial into an x minus 7 and an x plus 2. So our numerator is 3 times x minus 7 times x plus 2. The denominator is easier factoring. We have there x squared plus 11x plus 18. That means we're looking for a pair of numbers that multiplies to 18 and adds to 11. Again, we've done a number of these. So if we're looking for a pair of numbers that multiplies to 18 and adds to 11, that would be positive 2 and positive 9, meaning that our denominator factors into x plus 2 and x plus 9. So we have on the bottom an x plus 2 and an x plus 9. Now once again, our next step is to state the excluded values. So when we are stating excluded values, we are taking the bottom of the fraction, setting each factor equal to 0, and solving. So here we would subtract 2. So our first excluded value would be x equals negative 2. Then we would set x plus 9 equal to 0, subtract 9. We would get x equals negative 9 for our second excluded value. That is again because either one of those values would cause division by 0. So that moves us to step 3, canceling. If we look at what we have in the problem, there's only one thing that cancels. We have an x plus 2 on the top and an x plus 2 on the bottom. Those will cancel. And then we write what's left as our final answer. So we have 3 times x minus 7 over x plus 9. Now notice I am not multiplying that out. I'm simply writing what is left. That's the answer for number 2. If you got number 2 wrong on your quiz, you should have all of this information written down on your paper. Off to the next video.